Wow.
You were listening to the voice of Roland Martin, introducing our guests today, Coach Jesse and Dr. Amoon and Dr. Amsu.
You got it.
Good morning. Welcome to First Aid with Kelly Kincaid.
Excited.
We were talking about fibroids, but March is Endometriosis Awareness Month.
That's
and all
right.
of that
Got
comes
the yellow
together.
Going on. Got the
Yes.
yellow for endometriosis.
Yes, and for people who may just have seen commercials about it and really don't know how to spell it and don't know what it is, let's talk about what is endometriosis. And welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
We're so excited. First of all, because as I was speaking to Sway outside, we love the fact that you specifically give a clear path to truth, clear path to information, so our citizens can really become empowered to be the experts of their own health, right? Take charge of your life is our mantra, because we want people to be empowered about that. So endometriosis specifically is a gynecological disorder affecting 200 million women worldwide. Okay. And in America, that's one in every 10 women. And of course, it disproportionately affects Black women, right? Because that's the case with these inflammatory conditions. And specifically what it is, I'm going to give you the highlight, and one of the doctors will chime in, but it is where the endometrial tissue, which is the uterine lining tissue that we shed monthly, okay, where that goes and it grows outside of the uterine cavity. Now, when something's growing where it's not supposed to be, havoc is wreaked. Right, specifically.
And what I find interesting is with endometriosis and fibroids, a lot of celebrities have really been vocal. Pop singer Halsey just spoke about it. Monica, Whoopi Goldberg, Tia Mowry. Everyone is experiencing this.
And Gabrielle Union has a special kind of endometriosis called adenomyosis. And I'm so glad that they're speaking out about it, because women are suffering all around the world, and they've been suffering in silence. They've been suffering in silence because many times they don't realize that your heavy cycle is an indicator that something is wrong.
Right.
Okay.
And doctors, I'm curious, because I suffer from fibroids myself. Is there a connection with our diets? And chicken,
absolutely.
For me, meat.
Absolutely. All forms of meat bring on a condition or a process called aromatization. Right, in the body. And it's how it affects Black women disproportionately is Black women, or Black people in general, we upregulate estrogen, xenoestrogen. So we upregulate, meaning that we make it more potent, more devastating in the body, more dominant. So
our genetics does,
right.
Our epigenetics
There's we have our genes, but then there's this term epigenetics. Now, epigenetics is basically, the best way to explain it is, so your life is like a movie, a long movie, right? And your cells are actors in the movie. Your DNA is the script. The DNA sequences are lines of the script. Epigenetics is the director. So a director can basically say, all right, I'm removing these lines from this script. So it's basically turning off or switching on or switching on genes, right? So we have our genes, but certain genetic codes are switched off. Certain genes are switched off. So
in melanated people.
So
versus
so I might have
people.
dark brown eyes, and then I have a child, and if it ain't the milkmans, it's because the gene for brown eyes was switched off by something, by lifestyle. So epigenetics, what causes genes to be switched on and off is what I eat.
Lifestyle.
Right?
Environment?
My environment, what pollutants I'm breathing in, how much I exercise.
What about stress?
Stress. Absolutely. So these are lateral genetic changes that take place. We all have our genes, but then the lateral effects that happens in our genes are determined by our whole lifestyle. That's everything, what whether we're smoking weed or if we're smoking cigarettes, if we're smoking cigars, if we're drinking alcohol, if we go for a swim every week, whatever. So that this director can either make the movie great or make the movie stink. And what's going on with how Black people are living their lives, and this lifestyle, we call it culture. right? So a culture is any environment where a species can thrive, right? So you can have a assay of E. coli culture. So it's what environment can I put E. coli in to thrive? So the same thing with black people. We're living a system, lifestyle or culture where it's devastating. It's we're not thriving.
It's devastating to us.
So black women, like endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, all these inflammatory conditions that are reproductive mean that black women are no longer reproducing. They're no longer fertile. They're losing fertility and fecundity. You see what I'm saying? So epigenetics is a major part of this whole situation.
Is just
so
the
the root cause in a nutshell is estrogen dominance.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you know that we're chemically made up of all hormones, okay? And when you have that, it's almost like an orchestra. You know, you have a number of instruments and your endocrine system is like the conductor. However, if one instrument is playing out of tune or out of whack, it will throw everything off in the orchestra. Okay. That's how your hormones are. So when estrogen is being released or dominating and it's suppressing other hormones like progesterone, then this is now the effect that we're looking at. Fibroids, endometriosis, etc.
What I wanted to really point out too, black women, we're the highest rate, but it affects women across the board.
Across the board.
So when you look at let's use fibroids as an example. So 90% of black women are affected by fibroids. I was one of those 90%. I struggled for 15 years. I battled fibroids.
Okay.
But you have women in large is 30 to 50%. And then there are some women in their range group, it's 50 to 70. So it does affect women in general, right? But a key thing to what Dr. Amun said, with estrogen dominance being the root cause and why we're disproportionately affected. So let's look at what triggers estrogen dominance, all right? Estrogen dominance is the root cause of fibroids, endometriosis, cysts, infertility, all of these
thyroid,
breast cancer, prostate cancer,
hypothyroid,
all of those major issues. So when you look at these conditions, you're looking at the root cause. What triggers the root cause? It's down to the stress, the diet, and the pollutants, chemical pollutants found in our hair, relaxers, our major beauty products.
So the products we're using is affecting
the food that we eat. The stress is, when you look at the two, stress and diet are the main two, right? And stress, because it, as he said, upregulates. Now, I think this is huge here, because stress upregulates. That means if it's bad, you add stress to it, it's going to become a multiplier.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can have the same environment for two women. One is going through added stressors. That woman, like for me, I'll give you the personal example. When the fibroids came back the last time, because they came back, I had 5 fibroid surgeries before I knew any about all of this. Okay. And the last time I went through a year where it was a very stressful year, same diet, everything was the same, but they tripled in size that 1 year. Okay, the fibroids tripled in size. That's how it upregulates. Women in our program all the time, we say, okay, everything is the same. What stressors are you going in? Because they're like, I'm not having success right now. I say, okay, we need to change your thinking, your mental. And then the biggest thing is, why is it that it disproportionately affects black women? Well, let's look at that overall. We started talking about the fact that as a people, we carry stress because of what we've been through. Hello. You want to know why it disproportionately affects us? We're still managing the effects of the 400 years we've been through, whether it's through our jobs, whether it's through our relationships. There's so many things we're carrying. And because we're carrying that, we already have, we're set up to be affected by it negatively. So we have to literally think, we have to help the people in our program to basically wash the way they think about things.
Okay, so in your interview with Roland Martin, you mentioned
Shout out Roland, we love you.
We love Roland here too. That's our brother. And one of the things I'm wondering why this information isn't out more so.
Well,
okay, what are the forces that's keeping it from being spread? Because you said you wanted to take something that affects the marginalized and make it into a national agenda. Why isn't that happening?
There's a $1 billion industry. It's called job security. Okay. We did a whole campaign called Kill the Pill, which you can go into, right?
So if you think about that, Sway, right? You're looking at an industry, the pharmaceutical industry, that's making billions. And what you have to look at is that when they copyright a patent for a particular drug, they can copyright that and have exclusivity over that copyright trademark it and make money from it, and they have to, and it will take another company years before they do that. They can't do that with natural herbs. You can't do that with a piece of burdock or dandelion or yellow dock. So it's not in their interest for them to come out publicly and say, well, this would actually cure or reverse or eliminate these particular
issues. And that's been proven?
Right. So we have had women. Let me give them a case specifically.
Hold on, let me just touch on what he just said. Okay, so the pharmaceutical industry, it isn't like somebody had somebody started a company and then it grew. No, this is something where you had the oligarchs made a plan to overtake the medical industry, to take over the medical schools, because in the up until the late 1800s and early 1900s, the treatment for any ailment were herbs.
That's
straight up herbs.
Straight
up herbs. You go into any institution and you would see bottles of mason jars of whatever, right? And we like to say eye of newt or whatever, right? But that's literally not like traditional Chinese medicinal herbs, TCM, right? That's one of the places where it's kept true, where you go in and you see ginseng and whatever still there. So they made a concerted effort, and we're talking about like your Carnegies and your Fords and all those guys getting together and saying, all right, we're going to control this industry.
Businessmen
came in.
Okay.
And the whole thing was all right, we're going to synthesize treatments.
What they have.
And that's where the patenting came in.
That's
so
right.
if we synthesize, if we
can
extract, and when we synthesize, we can now put our name on it, and you can't get it unless that's like what Monsanto is doing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what Monsanto. I mean, that's what you're starting to see in the cannabis industry.
Right.
As well.
Exactly.
You're starting to see that happen.
So think about this now. So just like Dr. Amsu said, when they synthesize it down to the molecules, is not going to be identical to what's actually naturally molecules in the body.
They've added toxicity to it.
And I wanted to add also, doctors, especially with fibroids, are recommending hysterectomy.
So that's where I was going to go. So let's look at the process, right?
That's
Number
money.
one is they put you on the pill when you're 11, 12 years when you get your cycle. And let's say you get your cycle and young girls are having really heavy periods now because of their diet, because of the stressful environment they live in. Maybe it's the way that their families just,
social media.
That's what I'm saying, suicide, all this stuff. So now they're getting put on the pill. The pill actually does not reverse the condition, it exacerbates the condition because it's pumping their bodies with estrogen, okay? And it looks like it's masking the symptoms, but it's actually pumping and creating worse.
Synthetic.
I mean, we've had it, it's synthetic. So now, but the doctors, they're getting a kickback for every prescription that is being filled. Now, in the meantime, the pill is causing them to develop fibroids and cysts, endometriosis. Then now they have a greater condition. Now they're going to need surgeries, right? We have had how many doctors say, we have clients who came like, oh, the doctor didn't even examine me, and now they want a hysterectomy. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, you want me to do a hysterectomy and you haven't even examined me? So again, going back to that, now repeat surgeries. Why am I going to tell you the root cause, how to eliminate it, if now it's going to take away my repeat surgery?
We have a saying.
So $billion-dollar industry, right?
If it doesn't kill, we bill. That's the saying.
If it doesn't kill, we build. So I want to open up the phone line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And when I'm listening to
you asked me about a case, so this will be relevant to them. Can I tell you about the case?
Absolutely.
So we have many, many testimonies, but one of our most prevalent ones is a sister who's right here. She's been on the show. We could tell her name, Annalise Henry. She's been on many shows with us already. And she started the program with us when we launched in 2016. In 6 months' time, she started the program with 57. That's 57 fibroids. Damn. All right. She was over 200-something pounds. On our program, within 6 months, on our Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program, she eliminated 50 fibroids. MRI documented, okay?
That's the
MRI documented with lifestyle with coaching to help provide the support, the accountability to help change our thinking, with the nutrition plan, okay, because it's changing what you eat, the herbal supplements, the electric food herbal supplements that provide the gap in the minerals that are needed to eradicate the estrogen dominance, which is the root cause, and daily practices. That's why when people tell you, like there are a lot of celebrities out there now, they're like, well, I'll drink a herbal tea. I said, look, it's not one thing.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle change.
And it doesn't stop. When I listen to this and we talk about the disproportionate numbers of who's being affected by these conditions, and then when I listen to what the businessman's role has been in this,
strategic,
and infertility, it sounds diabolical to me.
So you just touched infertility.
Okay.
They want to neuter us.
Yeah.
Why is it that we are 4 to 5 times the people who are black women are 4 to 5 times more likely to get a hysterectomy?
No more black babies.
Right. I mean,
exactly.
Dr. Amsu loves saying this, right? Back in the days, you just touched a black woman and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneeze on her.
I looked at him.
Right.
That's how my daughter got here. My daughter is.
Right.
No, I'm just joking. Go
Right. But basically it was unheard of black families, black women suffering with this. And now it's becoming a norm.
What is back in the day? How far back is back in the day so we can see how fast?
70s.
From like the
70s, right?
80s, 70s and 80s.
That's not that far. That's not that long ago.
No. Right.
No.
Yo, so
and it's in every facet of life. There are things that that are kind of taboo that we will not go into.
Exactly.
But this is affecting everything. Estrogen is a hormonal steroid. It's a steroidal hormone, right?
It's not what makes us women.
You see guys who go into the gym and they pump up.
Yeah.
So we've known about anabolic steroids, right? Estrogen is a catabolic steroid. So it does the opposite. It breaks cells down. It breaks them down. It tears them down. Okay. So where you might have muscle, it turns it into fat. Yeah. That fat now produces more white blood cells that causes more inflammation. So when you hear like Dr. Sebi and everyone talking about mucus, right? You're talking about the white blood cells. Okay. The white blood cells, and they form the inflammatory process in the body. So inflammation is like the number one disease on the planet. Yeah. Okay. Every disease is basically inflammation. Rooted in it. Estradiol is the specific form of estrogen, which is the most potent, which is the one that's it's a carcinogen. So when you hear women, everybody grows up hearing estrogen is the female hormone. No, it's not the female hormone. Yes. Men have estrogen in them, and women have testosterone. Men have testosterone. We have progesterone. So it's like it's about the balance. Of these hormones and the upregulation or downregulation, or the hydroxylation and the methylation. These are terms that we don't want to get too deep, but just
you already did that.
Google that.
Google. All right. So we got Kelly. Tell who our guests are here today, Kelly.
Dr. Amun and Dr. Amsu and Coach Jesse.
Okay, I'm gonna look. I got a lot of callers.
Yes.
And we don't have too much time, which means you have to come back.
We're here.
All right. But before we do that, if folks want to learn more beyond this conversation, how can they reach you guys?
Well, the first thing is we want to educate everybody. So we created a free teleseminar on estrogen dominance, so they can learn that at MP3 right at thedetoxnow.com/gift. Okay, so download that free MP3 so you can learn all about it yourself. And the same website, thedetoxnow.com/consult. We have free weekly group consults for
free consultation.
Well, it's a group consult, and then if they need a more specific consult with the doctors, they can book it there too. It's thedetoxnow.com/consult. So you have the support system. Okay. Because for us, it's about putting the power in your hands.
And I just want to say one thing. Beautiful. We've said a lot, but we have brought a resolution, or we can reverse these.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's what in these calls.
That's right.
Let's talk about how we can reverse these issues. Dana's on the line from Baltimore. Dana, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Okay,
Dana.
What's your situation, Dana?
So I'm a 50-year-old black female, and about 5 years ago, I had a myomectomy, and the fibroids are now back. So now I'm just trying to consider what my options are. If I should consider UFE or hysterectomy, because I should be going into menopause in the next 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure.
Okay, so Dana, first of all, this is an appointment with destiny for you, my sister, okay? Because number one, a hysterectomy is not just about, oh, I don't want to have kids anymore. I don't need my womb. Your womb is critical to your health, okay? So don't let anybody take your womb away, because that will create other issues, makes you susceptible to breast cancer and cervical cancer and many other issues that you don't want to deal with, all right? And I know you don't want to go from fighting fibroids to fighting cancer, right, sis?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely
So
not.
here's the other thing. Estrogen dominance is just an indicator that your body, the fact that you have fibroids come back again, is an indicator that your body's estrogen dominant. Remember, we were just talking about the root cause. If you don't cure the root cause, something like fibroids or worse will come back. Okay? So that's why what we want to help you do is to not just reverse the condition and get your life back, okay, but also prevent worse conditions from developing. So we're here for you. Our Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program is phenomenal. I mean, we have women whose testimonies literally they go to what we call the happy period, where you're bleeding like 3 to 5 days the most, and like spotting instead of heavy hemorrhaging. And that happens within like the first month, first 3 weeks sometimes. So the detoxnow.com
there you go
/gift to download that MP3 so you can learn more and schedule your free consult, and we can recommend the right protocol for you. But we got you, sis. We promise.
Take full advantage of it, Dana, because normally they worth a lot of money, so it don't just happen for free.
Yeah,
right?
and we have testimonials right at that website, so you can hear people's full stories, Dana, for yourself.
Melina's on the line from San Diego. Good morning, Melina.
Hey, Melina.
Hi. So I suffered from ovarian cysts when I was very young. So they put me on birth control since I was young, 15, and then last year, well, not last year, but the year before that, they put me on 2 different types of birth control because not only did I have cysts, but I had very heavy bleeding. And last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer, estrogen receptive.
There you go.
And
just what you said.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
And they put me on immunotherapy and chemotherapy, and the immunotherapy killed my pancreas, and I also have adrenal insufficiency now.
Oh.
And now they have me on hormone blockers. So, and I know the hormone blockers don't just block the estrogen, and I know they block, other hormones.
That's
like
correct.
The cortisol and the insulin that, now I don't have any natural insulin, but,
okay.
I don't want to continue like having these problems.
Okay.
I don't want my thyroid to be affected next. So what can I do?
How can she revert? You talked about a remedy or reversal.
Absolutely.
How do you reverse
All right,
these
so
things?
so again, once you know the root cause, and the root cause started off as estrogen or hormonal imbalance, right? That's where most young girls who don't know left from
She
right.
She was 15.
So your parents basically, some expert says your daughter needs this, and say okay, because they don't know any better.
Right.
But without any choice, they're put onto this birth control, right? So that's the reason why we have
These
the
other
kill the
things
pill
developed.
movement.
Right.
Kill the birth control pill?
Kill
Yes.
the
Get
pill.
rid of birth control pills.
Kill the
There you
pill
go.
And it's not
movement.
Look what he's
IUD,
doing.
Yeah.
Right.
all these
So
hormonal birth control.
you are a
They're killing
prime
us.
example, right? You are the poster child of what happens. So it starts off with the pill, and then it cascades. It elevates. It blows. It explodes. Now you've got you got pancreatic issues. You have issues with your adrenals,
Breast cancer.
breast cancer. Now they got you. So now they've escalated you. It's like you go to get an oil change, and it's like, man, we found some issues with your brakes.
Yeah.
We found some stuff with your engine. You need a whole new transmission.
Right.
So now you went in for something for $30. Now you're spending $10,000.
How do you
And then your
reverse
health.
it?
Right. So basically, we have a number of detox programs.
That's the first step, the detox.
What this sister can do. It's really sad. This is a day-to-day case that we get, and just as we was explaining this sister called in, and nearly every box was ticked what we was talking about.
And the progression was clear.
Right.
Too,
and what we have now is what we would say is a bio-dedicated hormone therapy, which is our program. where we now start balancing out our hormones naturally. So we get that insulin regulating, we get the natural progesterone, testosterone, and we now suppress estrogen down. It's not to say we get rid of it totally, but we keep it, again,
the right balance.
with the right balance. So what we would suggest to this sister that she goes to the website, she gets signed up for a free consultation.
You hear this, Melina?
And then we can, start taking steps of her.
Right.
Because what we have to drill home.
Your body has to be
right, but what we want to
itself.
drill home is it's the lifestyle that we have in. And, Dr. Amsu said it, touched on it, so did Jesse earlier on. It's the culture. We are not living our culture. And this is a prime example. Our young girls, 15, 13, 18, they're living a fast life, eating fast food, not caring about themselves. And then when they go in front of these gynecologists, they're just given the pill.
They're upscaling them.
Right. And the pill is what we
dull.
call the pill is, the estrogen pill. We're saying kill it because this is the effect that it's having on their body.
And it's not just the pill. We're talking about the patch. We're talking
patch.
about IUD. We're talking about Depo. The injections. All of that. All of them are the same. That's the pill for us, right?
Okay.
And every mood, every emotion that you can think of, including stress, they're all chemical.
There you go.
They're all chemical, and these are steroidal chemicals. So whether you're happy, if you're utopian, whatever, these are all chemicals that take place. You have hormones, peptides, endorphins. Things like why we call it dope, because of dopamine, right?
Dopamine, yeah.
So these are naturally occurring chemicals in the body that we have occurring. They occur naturally, but when we start to mess with them, like, all right, I want to get higher though.
Yeah.
And I
it throws off the balance.
I smoke some weed or I take some coke or whatever. Now, there's an imbalance. That imbalance has to, the body struggles to find what we call homeostasis.
Okay.
So the whole thing here is to
reverse
and find that balance. But, there's something I want to say. Soul food is not for black people. Soul food is the devil to us.
It is.
Okay.
We want that sister to definitely get in contact.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's do this, and I apologize because we have to bring this to a conclusion for the day. But it's obvious we got to do another.
Absolutely.
We got to do a 10-step series.
Right.
I feel like it because there's so much terminology that's happening. I know people, but the way you guys are breaking it down is very understandable. Better than the doctors we go to see.
Hope so.
So once again, if you guys want to reach out to these lovely people, you can reach them directly at
thedetoxnow.com, and then follow us on IG because we're all very responsive.
Okay.
I'm Coach GESSIE on Instagram and Twitter. Coach GESSIE.
I'm DR_AMUN. That is DR_AMUN.
And I am dr.amsu, dr.amsu at Dr. Amsu.
Okay.
But schedule that free consult.
I want to thank
definitely want that sister
I want to
to-
thank you guys for coming in. Everyone who's listening to this and seeing this, just know that there is a better way of just cutting and taking pills.
Definitely.
And I just want to say one last thing. #kill the pill. We want people to upload. All you ladies, we want you to
#kill the
1
pill.
minute of your time. Upload a video. Tell us about your experience with the pill, and tag it with #kill the pill.
This lady here that called in, I think her name was Brenda.
Melina.
Melina. Right?
That
Definitely
was
reach out to us. I mean, that is a case study right there.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you for
for
coming
having
through.
us.
Hey, Sway.
Coming back.
Definitely coming back.
Come back.
And I want to say, Sway, it's an honor, man. You're an icon. We grew up in
We
hip hop.
was hoping to drop 16 bars, man.
But you dropped 48.
No, on the real, we grew up in hip hop, man, and what you've done for the hip hop community, for us people as a culture. We're from London, England, and you touched us. So
man, God
it's
bless
definitely
you,
an
man.
honor for being on the platform.
Thank you, God. I appreciate you saying that to me, and thank you very much. You're giving me chills right now.
Love it.
And you guys, I'm honored to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for educating our audience. Kelly Kincaid can be reached at
Kelly Kincaid, KELLYKINKAID. Thank you.
All right, we got the one only Mike Coulter is up next. Sway in the Morning, Shade 45.